Hello everyone, I am Insang from LG CNS. I have prepared today's presentation not as an individual. I have prepared this to suggest a big picture about the future of Sejong City to build a self-sufficient, sustainable future city of Sejong. There are several things that we need to check to build in our journey to build sustainable self-sufficient city of Sejong. What would be the future and what would be the directions for Sejong and what kind of plans will be required for smart services and going forward the future self-sustaining city. For the future self-sustaining city, we will need a corresponding industrial ecosystem. What about the open innovation? I'm going to make a presentation on these today. I have met several, the stakeholders, citizens and stakeholders in regard to the establishment of a smart city, and I ask these four questions. First, what is your vision? And second question is, what is the main project which is in line with the vision? That's the second question. And there are two keywords. One is economic growth, which will be related to the creation of jobs. And second one will be sustainable development, how we can develop this city in a sustainable manner. These are the main two directions and two visions. And second question is about the city-centric direction. The companies who are making products, they need to focus first on the customers, which means that we need to first listen to the needs of the citizens because they are consumers. The true smart way is a two-way communication, not one-way communication. Real-time two-way communications should be possible to listen to the opinions of citizens and suggest the possible solutions and answers to the citizens. This whole process should be made in real time. This should be fundamental of a smart city. And third question is about governance. The elected officials are there very busy and making a reasonable decision. Making a reasonable decisions is very difficult for them. So to make a reasonable decision, we need citizens and other stakeholders participating in the decision-making process. And the first question is about the local governments and the consortium, the PPP consortium. Land developers have space and the private sector has their capital and technologies, right? These different stakeholders should be combined, they should be harmonized to build a true smart city. So participation of private sector, technology and capital and public organization, they need to form a consortium. In the past, the public companies they bought a land and then they subcontract the services to private companies. This is an old model, I think. Now, private and public sectors, from the EPC design and up to the operation stage, all the stakeholders, PPP, the private and the public sectors should be combined and should be involved from the beginning to the end. And even in Sejong, we will have old capital and then old city downtown and the new city downtown. Of course, the harmony between the two different downtowns will be required as well. So it's been I think the Sejong city is 9 years old, right? The Sejong city first was the project itself was initiated about 9 years ago to renovate the old town. And then later on, they focused on the city participation and participation of citizens. And later, it was about administrative capital. And now we need to focus on our future. What should be the future of Sejong? That should be self-sufficient city, sustainable self-sufficient city. we have four directions. National policy set for national policy Sejong. First, citizens. When it comes to citizens, we need to make an innovation in the space and everyday life. And second one is data. We need the data to grow this city. And third one is sustainability. How we can evolve this city into sustainable and self-sufficient city. And when it comes to creating new jobs, inside the space of Sejong, how we can create such kind of innovative ecosystem, how we can the ecosystem link, how we can link the ecosystem to kind of export advantage. So the innovation of kind of spatial innovation is the first one, and we should provide innovative services that can be, the experienced and felt truly by citizens. People say that we are living in a data era. So in an open data platform, we should converge the public and private data. We have, local governments have data, but they do not have enough data. So to establish a data-driven smart city, we need data from private sectors, communications data, transportation data, and financial data. These data should be collected at one point. And based on the data, we can provide intelligent, personalized, and optimized services for consumers, for people, citizens. This way, we can make kind of a virtuous cycle of data. Sejong City is going to take the lead in this regard, and they say about people talk about sustainability. One of the most difficult jobs, people say that in Korea, is changing a design. When we launch a service, the service itself has experiences some difficulties, in and out service difficulties. So SBC will provide about 21 services, and then we pursue to be a service in and out platform city. And in the city, we will make itself a more greener city. So SBC and two stakeholders, and then 13 private companies as shareholders. Overall, 27 companies are involved in this project, and through the open platform, we are going to attract more companies, more foreign companies, of course, to this project. So, as I mentioned earlier, we are studying this project from the scratch. We do not have anything here, so we should start from the beginning. We should create a space. And the basic value of an advanced district should be embracing city. Sharing, connection, and distribution. Actually, sharing and distribution, these are kind of opposite concepts. We should embrace different concepts, different values in this city. This should be the direction of Sejong City. This is the overall landscape of the city, the district. So the SPC bought the land, and then it formulated a design for district to make a combined, a future-oriented city here. Let's talk more about this district. The core value is the mixed use of the district to revitalize the community in the area. And the bottom left, we had district with different districts. However, separate districts. However, as you can see, we are going to mix the different uses of blocks and to extend, to strengthen the networks of different districts. And second, Through smart innovation, we are going to overcome the physical limitations of conventional city districts. And on the bottom left, pedestrians should be centered in this regard. So the citizens can freely move. That will be a safe city. Then this way we can innovate the spatial and spatial value. And third one is a sustainable, eco-friendly city. Street-centric centered city floor and energy independence rate of about 40%. So on the left side, you can see a comprehensive plan map. There can be a minor change. However, overall, we will have a venture startup zones and of course residential facilities. On the left side, on the right side, as you can see, it is kind of a city planning for mixed use. This is unprecedented plan. If the residential area and the innovation area are separated, then we cannot think of kind of convergence between the two. However, we are going to converge the uses of different blocks. As I mentioned, we are going to implement 21 services. Based on the new technologies and data, we are going to provide a new kind of life-enhancing services, kind of mainly three services. Okay, data-driven city, then citizen-centric city, and sustainable city in the post-COVID-19 era, utilizing non-contact technologies. And 5G and Wi-Fi 6 will be the main communication framework for this city. And upon the platform and the IoT or AI, it will be available, of course. And as I said, we will have the All One City platform as a city hub platform. And on the right side, okay, we are going to provide 21 services. On the right side, 18 services will be provided by the public organizations. So let me, as examples, let me tell you about two services. There are many people who need to commute from Seoul to here. And you will have many apps on your mobile phones, like a KDX or Kakao Talk or other transportation service apps. So if you are a Sejong citizens, if we can use just a single app for your commuting from Seoul to here, that will be wonderful. That will be much more convenient. If the service is implemented well, operated well in a city, that will be wonderful. So this is an example. So as I mentioned, all one link, this service will be provided for Sejong cities. Okay, let me talk about more about the mobility. You can reserve your transportation using our link. You can reserve the train to go to the Seoul. You first go to the shared parking lot, and you can use the car sharing service there. And you can park the vehicle you rented to KTX station, and you take the KTX train and you go to Seoul and return to here. When you return here, you may reserve some highway bus and then take BRT to get here from Osong Station. And then last, you can take a walk. You can reserve all these services. You can make a payment just using this single app or link. This will be available very soon, I believe. And COVID-19 era. We are living in a COVID-19 in the post-COVID-19 era. Okay, now you are using many delivery services like a coupon. In the non-contact service era, if we have infectious disease like COVID-19, okay, we will have in Sejong City we will have about 3,400 residential places here. You are busy as a citizen. You can just use an app to use services to place an order for your service or for your goods. With the Parago or other Korean companies, we can provide various services. You don't need to own your own vehicle because thanks to this delivery service, yes, you can use this service at home. And second, if you do not own a vehicle, you may wonder how you can get the goods that you order. You don't need to visit the mart. This is kind of integrated delivery service. As you can see in the picture of the slide number 3, the smart locker service. All the goods that you have ordered will be stored in this locker, and then you can just pick all the goods from here. To grow the industrial ecosystem, the LG is one of the representatives, the private companies leading this project. LG has provided support for the promising startups so far. So in Sejong, we are going to also start launching our project to support the startups. SPC was not from the yet. However, LG selected 2 middle schools in Sejong for AI education. This is part of a local education programs. We have introduced this already to Seoul. However, we are going to introduce this same service to Sejong as well. Okay, financial institutions, Shinhan and KB, they are also shareholders of this project. To grow private companies and to support startups, of course, we need capital. We need financial resources. So with these financial institutions, we are going to run a Sejong Innovative Center, Sejong Innovative Hub. Okay, data will be available for these companies, and then we are going to support directly to startups. We are going to attract capitals, of course, from these financial institutions for those startups. And smart healthcare services. Smart healthcare services are very critical out of the 21 services. Together with the Sejong Chungnam University Hospital, we signed an MOU to provide data-driven, future-oriented smart healthcare services. So together with the local hospital, we are going to implement this project. All is this possible because this national policy project is being implemented thanks to the regulatory sandbox. In Sejong, Naver started this construction to build a huge data center. The data about Sejong, data about operation of Sejong can be stored in this data center. So Naver is also a shareholder of this consortium. So the Naver's data center, called COC, will be also utilized for Sejong. So Sejong, and then this way we can you can maximize the synergy between SPC and the Naver's data center. And then cooperation among citizen, academy, and industry. This cooperation is very important, and we are going to attract our other stakeholders, of course, other the private companies, and the city itself should be a true test bed. So District 5-1 and other regions in the city should serve as a test bed. And the financial institutions like KB and the Sinan is going to establish their own branches in the Sejong so that they can launch the future-oriented financial services for the first time in Korea. And then the global number one and number two global logistics companies are going to launch their innovative services in Sejong. On the right side, okay, as I said, the SPC was not established yet. However, we are going to form the establish soon, and we are going to work with other main leading stakeholders like major universities for intensive cooperation. For instance, KAIST, we signed an MOU with KAIST and Chungbuk University, Chungnam University. We will extend and we will strengthen cooperation with these renowned universities. And open innovation, globally, you may wonder besides Sejong, what is the main leading smart cities globally? And there are many trials across the world to build a smart city. On the left side, Dallas, US, and then Fujisawa SST in Japan. The Dallas Smart City in the US, they have a wide range of partners, as you can see. The global companies and the top local companies, the best players gathered for this smart city. This is a true collaboration with the different leaders. Through the collaboration, they can generate synergy. And on the right side, Fujisawa SST, it was a kind of the abandoned factory of Panasonic. The location is about 1 to 3 hours from the Tokyo. So we are going to they renovated the abandoned factory. And this project was led by Panasonic, and then Mitsui Real Estate and Samsung Real Estate, they cooperate as well. And CCC is a kind of life and living company because this kind of life living service is very critical. They also joined the project. CCC is leading the kind of new lifestyle services. In Hanam, near Seoul, you know that there is a big mall there called the Starfield, and thanks to the Starfield, the region created new jobs. So Sejong City is going to adopt this kind of, introduce this kind of services, this kind of for citizens. What about Sejong now? What is the current status of Sejong? Who are with the Sejong now? The LG Group and Sinan Financial Services and KB Financial Services, asset management companies and facility management companies, Aegis Assets Management Company, and for smart home, LG Electronics is with us. And as I mentioned, KAIST and Sejong Chungnam University Hospital and Health Connector, healthcare companies. These are main stakeholders, main shareholders of this consortium. 921 is a startup company. Because of their insufficient capital, they cannot join this consortium directly. However, regarding the mobility, they are also cooperating with us, even if they are startup. And level 4, Currently, level 4 autonomous service is available in Seoul. 42 Dot is a company invested by LG and Hyundai, and the company is going to launch its service in Sejong as well. And O1 Consortium, it was approved last week. The private companies, before establishment of an SBC, we have kind of a shuttle service in Sejong. So even before establishment of an SBC, the private companies is going to launch the services, required the services. It will be a preparation to advance the service. This one? What will be the best practices of smart city globally? Last year, many people said that Toronto, initiated by Google, because Google is a global company. Last year, because of COVID-19, Google withdrew the project. There are many regions. I cannot tell all the regions here. And second one is Toyota. Toyota announced this project near Fuji Mountain. Is called Woven City. They are going to renovating in the old factory. And then they are going to also launch the autonomous service because they acquired a company. And starting from 2017, Hangzhou in China, Alibaba is now providing various services in Hangzhou, and they are also exporting those services to the Middle East. So Woven City by Toyota, it is much like a test bed city. What would be main differences of these different projects? Okay. Toyota's Woven City is a test bed city. However, Sejong National Pilot City is not simply a test bed. We have residency here. So this will be an open innovation city. So compared to Hangzhou, China, in Sejong we can see kind of spatial innovation, everyday life innovation in Sejong. So many people across the world who are involved in smart cities will visit Sejong. And I truly hope that this forum can grow further as a true international smart city forum. So we have these visions, and I have introduced you some details of the projects and how the life of citizens will be changed. I have mentioned all of this. The last slide, what kind of services will be required? That is the primary question, of course. Okay, this footprint here is when Neil Armstrong landed. Okay, it's a kind of footprint of the Neil Armstrong on the moon. He said that's one small step for man, but one giant leap for mankind. This is a huge kind of change for the mankind. This will be a huge leap for mankind. The same goes for smart city. I think smart city was first mentioned across the world about back in 2016. Most not just an innovation or a trial city. We are pursuing more organized, well-prepared smart city, and we are now on the right track. To this end, we have changed, modified relevant regulations and laws, and the private and public sectors are cooperating for this one, and the total budget for this project is about 3 trillion Korean won. This is a unique case. We should make a success story for sure in this city. And that would make all the citizens of Sejong happier, of course. Thank you very much. Thank you.